Is that for Yerushalmi Shevi'is? In the article Ozvar edition, we're on that Pam now for the top. And Hamashabet Sod Chavero, and in the Vilna, we're on the fifth line from the bottom on Chav Zayin Amud Beis. Hamashabet. This is Matzoi Shabbos Kodesh Parshas Vayigash. Today, many soldiers, 8 soldiers at least, were killed in Gaza. We need Yeshua. Ali Yerushalmi should be a schus. So Hamashabet Sod Chavero. You put your field on the lean to your friend. V'alacham went and sold it. Acham said it's sold temporarily. As long as it's not collected, as long as it's not used to collect the loan, it's sold to the third party. Rabbi Yossi made it's not sold temporarily. Now the Kavanaki points out there's a question missing from the Gemara here. And the question is that we learn the question of Yosim Shor Mazik. The halacha is that Shor Maz is Shor Tam Shizik. Shor Tam Shizik that is Meshubat to Nizak, because he gets he collects from the Shor Mazik, and so it's like a designated collateral. So if that's the case, why is the halacha that if the Mazik sells it, it's sold b'shar, which means that the buyer can use it to plow and such like? So the answer is Chel Rabbi Yossi min Hada. Rabbi Yossi learns he strengthens from this. Usually means this is his proof, but here it's actually his lumdus. Shor matzi lavriach. The reason why by the shor it's temporarily sold is because it lo sam chadait v'lokeach completely, because a shor the mazik can always make it escape and they'll never get a hold of it. Whereas southern ain't matzi lavriach, a field you can't escape. So it's therefore the malva is samech das. So it's a fascinating distinction here, because the distinction as to whether we mochel the shor or not is dependent on the smichas das of the person who should be the intended recipient of the field or the ox. Since the intended recipient of the field has some chadaite, the sale cannot be the shor, because the shibud is that strong. Where it's lo sam chadaite, because the shor could get away, so therefore his sale is not, his acquisition is not sufficient to push off mechir l'shor, because he gufa. He's not secure that it can't be used in some other way. A very fascinating distinction. Again, Chel Rabbi Yossi hu hadash min hadash shor matzui lavriach, so the eno matzui lavriach. So ask Magatz michal shoysim michul bal Yisrael. What do you mean? So what about if the field is sold to Baal Zerah? How are you going to be? Then it should be nachamo weiter that ain't lo sam chadaite, because it's going to be hard to extract that field from the Baal Zerah. So every should be mechur l'shah. Rabbi Yuna avoid Rabbi Tanya. No, between him Baal Yisrael lipo. Baal Yisrael they fall. They're not necessarily always on top. They're not always have Zerah. So therefore it's still sam chadaite. He anticipates he's going to get the field because the Baal Zerah eventually is going to be arrested or whatever else. Tani, now Kaiser said about point to Isha B'Ksuba, so we learn. So he writes a field as a designated collateral for his wife for Ksuba, Baal Chov, B'Chova, or for his Baal Chov, for his creditor for the loan. Mechara reis and Mechura. If he sells it, it's valid sale. The debtor or the husband. And the buyer should be concerned for himself, meaning that he shouldn't have gotten involved, because then she's going to lose it probably. But in any event, the sale is a temporary sale; it's valid sale. So what is Rabbi Yossi going to do with this brisa? So Masnisa, the brisa says Shama lo yehei l'chapira mizu. Interesting language. We don't find this language in the Bavli as far as I recollect. Yehei l'chapira mizu means, it's the way the Kavanah explains it, it's designated but not specified. The Baal Chov, or the Baal, says to the Isha, or to the Malveh, this is for your Piron. It's designated. But there's Machlokes. There everybody agrees that in Bechara Machor, in Rabbi Yossi, because Lo Sam Chataite. Where's the Machlokes? Machlokes says, Ma pligim shomer lo yelcha piron elamizu. It's only from this. And that's far more than a designation, it's much more of a specification. In that case, Sam Chadaiti V'Lokech, and Mimela, we have a Machlokes, according to Rabbi Yachal, it's Mechur L'Shah. Rabbi Yossi, this is a very strong designation. At Sam Mechur, even L'Shah. Okay, now it says Rav Amar Pagma Ava Bishlo Zakva. We talked in our Mishnah. We had in the next part of the Mishnah. We have in the Mishnah. No, we didn't have Mishnah. This is a separate case. Rav Amar Pug Ma'ava Bishla Zakva, where she collected part of her ksuva from the Yisraelim, a woman who was an almana, but she wasn't zokeh for the rest of it as a loan. She didn't say, I'm taking a little bit, the rest of it is a loan. Or Zakva Afa Bishla Pug, where she said, this ksuva is due to me now. I want it to be considered a loan, not a ksuva. Afa Bishla Pugma, even though she didn't collect part of it. So in both those cases, Shemitah is Mishamet, because it's called Lo Yigosh, because she converted it already into a Choiv by taking part of it. So that means she regards it as a Choiv, and she's collecting part of it. It's not a Maisa based in of a Ksuva. And the same thing with Zakva. Obviously, she's making it into a Choiv. So the Gemara says that that's the opinion of Rab, but Tanya Reb Chia, Achativ Kom B'Nid Tizkov. Oh, it's only Mishamet if she did both. She collected part of it, and she was okay for the rest of it as a loan. Okay, so on that, Rabbi Yehuda Omer Harishon, this is going back in the Mishnah, said, when by a Kafas HaChanus, saying Mishamet, Rabbi Yehuda Omer says, as he's makif a second time, the first HaKafa becomes a loan, and it is Mishamet. So we're asking, Nation makif lo pam shnein asa rishon ha'malvel. How does that work? Why just because he made a second extension of credit, the first extension of credit now become a loan? Kaidam Rabbi Lazar. This is like Rabbi Lazar says later on in the Mishnah. It says Hashanah is part of Chilkah Rosh Hashanah. Somebody shechts a cow and distributes it on Hashanah. If it's a leap month, it's Mishamet. And Mar asks, wait a minute, it's Akafas Chanus. Why is it Mishamet? And Rabbi Lezer is Rabbi Yehuda. It's like Rabbi Yehuda who says in our Mishnah, Rishon Yishim Mishamet. That means because through the second Akafa, the first time becomes Roy to collect. Anything that's Roy to collect, even though it's not demanded, it's Roy to demand. If it's not demanded, it's Mishamet. So there we said also, V'roy Tava Rosh Hashanah. Can't even Tava Rosh Hashanah. What do you mean? You can't even Tava. It's royally Tava. It's not royally Tava. Right? Baba Shem says, since the Lokeach sees that the Mocher trusts him, hey, that's why he's giving him stuff, even though it's Rosh Hashanah, he can't set a specific weight and price. So therefore, he's K'mishroy L'Tov. He feels that he should pay back as soon as possible. He has this kind of impetus to pay back as soon as possible. Came with Shroy L'Tova since it's suitable for him to demand it. K'mishu Roy Litin Lomos. It's as if he is. As if he's, he said it's time that to give him money. In other words, all this is in the hypothetically, right? It's not, but it's hypothetical, which doesn't have kamina. So that the Rabbi Lezer says that according to Rabbi Yehuda, anytime a person feels obligated to pay, because he was trusted, because he was given to this meat on Rosh Hashanah, before Rosh Hashanah, with an assumption that the money is already his money is going to be forthcoming. So if it's Havan, it's Mishamet. Because no most here, since he should pay for the first one. Then it was a common his words below Nasan. sure we have to have these words. Yeah, he does have it inside here, the Gemara also. Nasi Shushan a milveh. So, by the way, I see here there are a bunch of changes here in the Kabbalah from the actual Gemara. But in any event, that this since he should pay him now because he feels a sense of indebtedness because he's getting a second akafa, and the Kabbalah says it's like nogush miatzmo, even though the other guys nogush him, there's constant nogush miatzmo. He puts himself in a situation, and therefore Nazi Shona Milveh. By virtue of his being extended the second credit, he feels compelled to pay the first credit, and that's enough to make it into hava as far as he's concerned. Okay, now the Gemara is going on Mulach Rabbi Yosef saying Kol Malchus Bosekas B'Shvius Mishametes, and Bosekas Shvius Ein Mishametes. And that Rabbi Yochanan says, Amar, here it says, in the Gemara it says begin. The Kabbalah says Kigon Charisha. So you have to stop during Shemitah. Shimon Shomer Agilus Kigon Binyan, such as construction. Adai Rabbi Yochanan Shim Bosekas Shvius, any law would stop during Shemitah. Whether it's it stops on account of Shemitah, right? Because now it'll be Choresh. At that Rabbi Shimon Lakish, Kom Lakish Posekes Me'eleh. Fascinating thing. Even if Shemitah doesn't stop it because you're allowed to build. Right. Nevertheless, because people don't build during Shemitah, that perhaps because of a lack of funds, in any event, it's as if it's now it's as if it's now suitable to be the demand because it's not an ongoing relationship, and there comes Avah, and therefore is Shemitah is Mishamet. So the sugya is going to go on, but that brings us already to the top of Pei Aleph Amud Aleph. So we will stop here for today.